I am not entirely sure I did the right thing in telling Caspar everything, though this cult seems to operate in some level of secrecy, though they are known, and it's apparently known that Jan was connected to them. I think it's better to spread this information as far and wide with everyone I can talk to as possible. Get them in the light. Make sure whatever they're planning is not happening because they use people for it. They used us. I'm pretty fucking pissed about that. I hope Amrita's going to be okay. The doctor is competent. I was fucking with him, but he and Val, I'm sure they'll be careful with her. I think we're gonna need her in the time to come. I think Acrio is starting to sort of like me again, somewhere, I hope. I plan on using this time in Silburn to mend bridges instead of breaking them for once. I want to get out of here. I don't want to string along a cow, but I guess we're gonna have to. Everyone's in kind of a weird place, but as long as we're in together, I'm sure we'll be fine. Miss Asuriel already. What I'm not gonna miss is fucking Stensia. Dirt and mountains and dust. I'm done with it. And this tower was fucking useless. Hope I can find a leg to stand on when we get to Gavany somewhere.
Well, things are getting worse. I just thought Amrita wanted to have a conversation. Turns out something's targeting me. I assume she must mean the shadow. Was trying to hide from it. Didn't really work. And then Acrio came in and it was really embarrassing. I hate it when people see me like this. He sort of talked me down from it, I suppose, but he doesn't do talking. And that gets more and more obvious the more he talks. But he was there, which is all I needed. I don't like being in Silburn that much, but if the alternative is going into Gavany, I don't know if I'm ready to leave yet. I don't know if I'm ready to go to Gavany yet.
Amrita, it's that weird, illogical understanding as you are sitting in your house and the entire thing is engulfed in flames, but you don't really seem to be reacting to it. You don't really know why you're not reacting to it, but you're just there and everything is burning down around you. There's maybe a sense of tranquility, but even that doesn't make sense. And out of the corner of your eye, you catch a bit of movement. There's this moth in the flames. What do you do?
What does the moth look like?
You stand and, or maybe you didn't even stand, you're just there, observing. It's perched on one of the scant bookshelves where your mother kept a few basic novels, Pulp Fiction, that sort of thing. The edges of the paper are all turning into black ash, curling up, and this little moth with like black wings, it looks like. It's hard to see with the amount of firelight changing the colors, but it is not consumed.
The floorboards probably creak as she edges closer to examine it further, wondering why and how she's here in this moment.
There's a jolt of excitement. And now you're in a field. You're chasing it. This dusk. The fire has become a sunset. And it's likely that what you have observed on certain, to not put too fine a point on it, dogs that chase insects, just leaping through this tall grass is what it feels like. You can't really see yourself. You're just chasing after this flying insect, leaping for it, and your jaws clench around it, and you realize you've been the wolf the entire time. That's when you wake up, and Lorelei, whatever has been chasing you through the grass, as always, in your dreams, as so often caught up with you, started tearing you to shreds. You also wake up, uncontrollable scream in that moment as both of you in this room. It must be well after midnight, possibly closer to dawn. You're not sure. It's completely dark.
And falls like on the ground.
Sorry, did I wake you up?
No.
Oh.
I think I just need to. I wonder if anyone's downstairs. I was gonna maybe go for a walk. It's nothing, she says as she gets up from the floor, patting herself down.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, I think we should probably just have different rooms if that's okay. I'm not really feeling too good.
Oh, no, okay. That's fine.
And yeah, she
Lorelei just immediately realizes what happened the last time. She woke up in a weird dream situation when she was sharing a room with somebody, and she immediately just starts like looking over her entire body for yet another fucking demon name burned into her skin. It's like, this is a pattern.
Make an investigation check.
Ah!
Meanwhile, in the other room, just fucking Acrio laying on the bed, his feet twirling back and forth, Cillian cleaning his armor, Acrio polishing the plate.
The boys are having like
gossiping.
a sleepover, they're having like a little pillow fight.
Fortunately, Lorelei, you don't find anything different pulling off the nightgown or whatever it is you have slept in. You don't find any evidence. There's still this itch, and you can't even place exactly where it's coming from.
Also gonna go get any water. Do you need water yourself since you're up?
No, I'm okay. If you want to go in a different room, we can try and figure it out. I don't remember how many we have. I wasn't the twat that set this up.
Yeah, stomach's killing me, so I'm just going to walk downstairs.
That was probably the water.
Oh.
Shouldn't have eaten the bug. Give you a tummy ache.
Wow. Yeah, she's gonna try to quietly walk downstairs because I don't know where the other people are at in what room, so that way she's not too loud walking down there.
Do creak underneath your feet. Maybe it's just your acute sense of hearing that it feels too loud, but yeah, you make your way downstairs. The saloon is dead. It's clearly the middle of the night. Most of the candles have even gone out. There's nobody behind the bar.
Damn it. I think she'll just sit down there for a little bit, not really wanting to walk back up.
Eventually the sun rises, and you have the day. This will be the next few days will blur together until Amrita's incoming surgery.
Yeah, she will try to acquire a key and go in the room and sort of lock herself in the room before anyone else can wake up, I'd say.
In the morning?
Maybe, just whenever she sees the person appear behind the bar. I don't know.
Sure. Overweight, very chesty woman who works the bar earlier on in the days, is getting everything set up, ready for the early morning patron. And yeah, she'll ask, did you want it for the day or did you want to just an hour? How long you need this?
How much could I give for 4 days? I just need 4 days.
4 whole days? That'd be 8 gold pieces. Not cheap. We do have good use of them, you know.
I'm not surprised. I have 5. I can give you 3 more. Ah, damn it. Why did I give him that money? Ah. You know, it's fine. I'll come back later. I need to go deliver a post. And I'll go back up to the room to knock on the door, see if Lorelei is awake.
Probably wouldn't have gone back to sleep for very long. So, yeah, I think the door would be unlocked as well. I think she would have just left it. I think
it's just me.
Probably still in there. Yeah,
all right.
Come in.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go to the post real quick. And like I said, I wasn't feeling well, so I'm probably just going to get my own room. I might have made the mistake of giving Cillian all the money. I should have taken some of it myself so I wouldn't have to ask him for an extra 3 gold. And here we are. But if anyone asks, that's what I'm just going to go do. Send this letter out to Constantine.
Okay. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah. It's fine. Do I need to make a deception check at all?
I mean, if you are trying to be deceptive, sure.
Sure.
Alright, I'll insight that shit. Joke's on you, I see through that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no shot that Lorelei doesn't realize.
I just want to see how much of her bullshit I see through. All of it. All of it. Uh-huh. Look, I think it might just be a good idea if I'm the one that keeps my distance from people. Because this isn't the first time something like this has happened. So, well, it's kind of similar to something that happened before, so,
No, I can't really talk about anything else right now in the moment, if you see. I'm gonna go for a walk, yeah. And she'll leave.
Val, you wake up still feeling somewhat famished. And at the same time, it's that bloated almost, like over full, but you didn't actually feel like you were able to satiate anything. There's this weird buzzing in your ears, kind of this ringing sound that suddenly feel this itch on your face, a fly that you swat away. Not uncommon this season, the harvest moon, things warm up, but it's odd when you feel the rays of sun on your face. You know it's always cloudy, and as you blink your eyes open, you're looking up at the clouds, the bright dawn, and you're not in your room.
Can I look around?
Sure.
Trying to shield my eyes from the sun, turning away and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Just the one eye, I believe, the other one being blind, isn't difficult to shield, and you look over, you feel the tickle of field grass on your face and on your hand as you try to move it and look around. There's more flies buzzing. There's this metallic, coppery smell in the air that you recognize from the doctor's work as being old blood, or at least stuff that's been exposed to the air for a bit too long. And there's a mass of some kind to your right.
Okay. Am I standing, or it sounds like I'm like lying down?
Was laying down, yeah, face up.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. I suppose trying to push myself off the ground and trying to figure out what the fuck, how big is the mass?
Well, you immediately recognize as you're starting to adjust your vision and push yourself up with your one arm. This looks like it was at one time a cow, but now it is mutilated beyond belief.
Okay, cool. Seeing that, instinctively recoiled, stepping away from like the mangled remains.
In your vision, you can see your white hair, it's long, hanging down somewhat in your face. It's matted and stuck together with some deep brownish red coagulation. You see on your hand as you are stepping back what has to have been blood at one point.
Is there any more blood on myself?
Looking down, it's like you bathed in it.
Oh, cool.
Can I have you make a sanity saving throw, please?
Yeah.
Pretty decent, actually. Can you describe how he holds it together in this moment?
Looks at all the blood over to the cow. There's like confusion that he doesn't really know what's going on. He just knows he's out in the open, apparently covered in blood. The instinctual response to panic, his mind trying to shut down as his breathing accelerates before he grips onto his thigh, squeezing for a moment to calm himself down, knowing that if he freaks out now, it's like about the worst thing that he could do. Tries to choke down any sort of panic that is rising up, at least for the time being.
You can see that you are in one of the pastures. There are other animals out here, but they're keeping a good distance. This bovine corpse just swarmed with flies, the buzzing almost overwhelming your senses. The sun coming up is just beating down on your pale skin, and still, even from behind the clouds, and you still feel hungry.
How, like you said, I'm in one of the pastures.
You can probably see the city from here.
Okay,
yeah.
So, roughly how long would it take me to get there?
Depends on if you were to like run at full speed, but I mean like 10-15 minutes probably.
Okay.
And you're not that far out.
Okay. And the doctor's place is sort of on the main road. Are there like side streets that one could like move towards the doctor's house?
Potentially.
Okay. He tries to remain calm, looking at the corpse of the cow, retches for a moment, and he would try to relatively stealthy, or as best as possible to avoid being seen, make his way towards the doctor's house.
Unless you have an alternative route, you will have to go through the main gates to get into the city itself. Is he doing anything about his sanguine visage?
Is there is there like a creek, any rivers nearby that he could like wash himself off?
You can make either a nature or survival check.
Okay.
See what you can find. You know animals do tend to congregate toward water sources, so you move towards some of these other cows in the pasture. They all move away from you rather quickly, like there's some intimidating presence emanating from you, which seems weird. You've always been fairly good with animals, but whatever happened, you find a stock pond, basically, dirty water for animals to drink from, but it is something.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't really have a choice, and it's probably helping to mask the blood, hopefully, if he washes it off there. So he's trying to get as clean as possible, especially like getting all the blood off, like out of his hair and his face, trying to get rid of anything that's on his clothes, at least as best as possible. If that doesn't work, rub some dirt on, mask
the shirt,
that blood.
would probably be the bigger issue because it's usually like a lighter color.
Yeah.
I think most of his pants are like blacks and that sort of things, according to the art. So you probably won't have too much issue with that. But yeah, the shirt, like, if you're gonna wear it, it's probably gonna be seen as being splattered.
Okay, then he's probably a good idea to ditch that. He's gonna get rid of the shirt. How? Yeah, he doesn't have any tools because I was thinking about like him burying the shirt. That should be easy enough, but also like burying the cow. But that's probably gonna take a longest while because it's
with
a cow.
one hand and no tools.
Okay, yeah, then you just bury the shirt for now. Make sure that that's gone, and then make his way into town.
A percentile real quick for that.
Oh, cool.
That is followed by a stealth. The guards obviously see you in the early morning, and it is an odd, like, side-eye glance. They don't speak to you, and that's not uncommon, especially given your background and the way you look. You're used to people just staring without saying anything. It is an odd sight, this, skinny, one-armed, scarred up, shirtless figure slipping into town. But as you get past the initial Cathars and into one of the alleys pressed up against the building, the early morning workers and people making their way onto the streets, you can avoid pretty much all of them until you get down to the doctor's office.
Yeah, he's like trying to be as quiet as possible, staying out of, the general view of people. As the Cathars look at him, he would like try to cover up his scars, very, very self-conscious about them. And as soon as he's at like the doctor's, he like starts to freak out and just bangs against the door, opening the doctor will open.
Which he does. And what are Acrio and Cillian up to this morning?
Just a simple breakfast.
Which one of you guys
going
are
to
covered
visit
in
some
blood?
people. No, I think Cillian was planning on visiting some of the kids that they dropped off here, some of the families.
Mm-hmm.
Before Cillian has the chance to leave, the entire breakfast, Acrio has like papers, and he's just talking Cillian's fucking ear off about the cow daughter and how he's like trying to merge spells together to see if he can get different effects. And he's like, if I stack these and I cast these with that, and if all of it congests or congeals together into one, maybe it'll do something. I don't know. And he's like it's a madman rambling.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right at the end, he's like, did you catch all that? Should I go over it again?
2 questions. First of all, can I have you roll an Arcana check? Secondarily, how much is Acrio openly saying in a public space when other people are? Is he like using some code, or like we deal with and we do the thing?
When it comes to talking about the cow, he's smart enough to not specifically mention it. He talks about the effects that the spell will have on something generic. 19. That shouldn't be an advantage.
Well, it's disadvantage because starting your long rest and you still have a level of exhaustion, so it's a 14.
Well, fuck you. I'm going to use my human determination.
Trista.
Are you sure about that?
You sure about that?
Fine, I'll hold on
Classic
to
DM
it.
line.
I'm just curious.
I'll slap a guidance on it to help me along the way.
Sure.
Fuck you.
Another fuck
Should have
you
been
are.
nicer about the guidance.
The concept of altering and combining magics is a very arcane practice, not something you've ever studied before. Are you proficient in Arcana?
No, Acrio has no idea what he's talking about.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't positive. So yeah, it's like you're coming up with these theories, maybe, but you know that at least the way you were always trained with magic was the angelic prayers and the gestures and the channeling of something else's power, usually with a preordained intent. So yeah, like even as you're saying it, you feel like you feel like a madman. Like this can't work. It shouldn't work, but maybe it would.
He's been hanging around Lorelei too often. He's going nuts.
I mean, sure, mate. If you think it's gonna do something, I just think we're resigned on a terrible trip.
Yeah,
I mean, we're committed to
the
it.
Trip. If we could save the trip, that'd be great. But I also have no idea how this works. But then again, Lorelei got her powers out of a fucking forest in the middle of nowhere, so things are weird. And it might work. I don't know where she got it from. She didn't show up to a church one day.
That's probably true. Doesn't seem very churchy.
So the fact that she can just whip the exact same things as I do out of nowhere and with similar effects means that means they're all free. Now he's disassembling his own argument. He's like, well, if Lorelei can do the exact same thing as me, then that means they're all the exact same and don't mix weird.
The guy who was sitting at the table right behind you like picks up his plate and like moves the table down.
Listen, I don't know much about magic. A little bit about my own, but what we always did when traveling anywhere to stay safe is we asked permission. I think there's this wrongful thing about taking more and more when it comes to magic, and I don't know, slow down. Here, let me ask if this will work. I'll pull a card from my Taraka deck.
Sure.
Just fucking.
It's not even a card. It just says no.
Nah, bitch.
Like, I don't remember that card being in there.
Like, oh fuck.
Interesting. The very last, the 9 of glyphs. It is the traitor card. I'm gonna say when you pull it, it is inverted, signifying a weakening or a loss of faith.
I'd be careful, mate. Just you might be disappointed.
But we can always try.
I mean, you can. Should you always try? I don't know. Sometimes you should chill.
Okay, I'm gonna go bother Lorelei about this, and just scoops up all the papers into his arms and just.
Be careful about faith. Fuck it. And I will go visit some kids. Have some fun.
Mm-hmm. Can I have Amrita make a perception check, please, with advantage? During your morning walk through the streets, you catch that vague sense of blood, and it's not human, definitely cow blood. And through one of these side alleys, you catch this almost a Geist-like pale figure dart from one side to the next. This long, flowing, like, looks like a bridal veil almost, but then you realize, wait, no, that's just white hair.
The heck? She'll walk probably in the direction of where the blood is, but see the white hair, because for a moment she probably thinks it's Asuriel, but then forgets that Asuriel is gone, and it's like, oh, just Valerie.
Just a shirtless man with one arm darting through the streets. Yeah, you see him finally reach the doctor's house and his office, bang on the door until it opens quickly, and he slips inside almost immediately, as if he could phase through the door itself.
Does it smell like that's where the blood also went, was to the doctor's?
Yep.
Are there any windows to the doctor's abode?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an office front on the main street, you know, basic open windows for like a shop.
I think she'll just see if she can listen outside the window and look out there, but not be noticed.
Sure. Then you can make a stealth check if you're attempting to. Val, I don't know if he's in a state to really be checking, but that's up to you if you want to.
No, this like as soon as he's like let in, and the door shuts, that's when he, he's kept it together before, but that's now when he starts freaking out as he's shaking all over, tries to hold back tears, but they're just these very confused sobs that come from him because he doesn't really know what's going on. Just knows it's probably nothing good.
What the hell happened?
Frantically searches for something to write, scribbling, and this is almost almost illegible because of how frantic he is as he writes blood, cow, woke up, and then almost scratches the pen over the paper or ripping it, drops to the floor, clutching his head, trying to remember what's going on.
As you're writing, the doctor's hook-based mask just shifts quickly to the window where this shadow moved partially in front of it and then back, but he stays put to read it. This isn't good. You're right about that. There've been strange effects. Things are changing. Not sure they're for the better.
Looks up, this look of despair on his face as he doesn't really know what to do, how to even proceed from here. And he knows that the doctors are, much more level-headed, looks for him to tell him what to do, or at least, say something apart from, this isn't good.
I'm not sure he has much else to say, honestly. It's weird,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Behind his mask, there's this odd, well, I guess not so odd for you, just this silent breathing, as you can recognize the wheels turning, but he doesn't really have anything to say about it until he goes over and prepares this concoction, probably a tea of some kind, but it's not just a single glass, it's an entire pot of it, and bring that over to you in this kettle. I think it might be best if you purge.
Grabs the cup or whatever's been offered to him and downs that in order to expel
you may want to
blood he
find an outhouse or something, or at least a chamber pot nearby.
Shit.
Yeah, if
do I hear any of this?
There
Can
one
I
in the
run?
backyard or
There would probably be a public, outhouse on the street.
Okay, and he's probably making a beeline for that.
And you would probably be well versed enough in medicine that this is going to make you vomit up everything in your system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine with him. Grabbing a blanket or something to cover up his scars for a moment, and then just head straight for the outhouse in order to get down to business.
And yeah, Amrita, you would see this happen and hear it. Does not sound pleasant.
Fuck that. And she will walk to the post office, but she's thinking all this time about the thought of there being a dead cow, and she will try to see if she can figure out where the blood is coming from and where Val specifically was running away from, but I think she's just going to focus on going...
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you're going...
No.
I mean, you might be able to follow, Witcher style, the trail of scent through the air, but that would take some time.
I don't have time for this bullshit. And she's going to continue going to the post if she can't really smell anything else within proximity.
Sending to, you said Constantine at Estwald?
Yes.
It will be a half gold to post that.
Okay. I'm just going to... Here. I stuck it in a Google Doc so everyone could just look at it.
Yeah, if you don't have any half golds on you, obviously you can pay gold and get a half gold back.
What if I sent 2 letters? Is that 1 gold?
Well, man, it depends on where they're going.
Alright, I have this letter I need to have sent to Estwald, and is there an outpost in Hanware?
Naturally, we have riders that cross the Gyre. stop off again. We were before the making a test gold in the first place. We could probably do 3 copper.
Yeah, she will take it out of her pocket, and it has Tiberius's name on it. Yeah, I'm not sure if this will really go anywhere, but if you could send that,
well, it'll go to
be
Henry.
great.
That's where it'll go.
All right. Thanks.
Rider should be coming around tomorrow, so be posted then.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I think she'll just be out and about, walking around, just needing time to breathe. Try to find Cillian later to get some of the money from him that she'll need.
Sure. And Cillian, what do I want you to roll for this? Actually,
Sent
yeah.
out to see
roll,
how many of the kids are alive.
Yeah. Roll percentile for the number of dead kids. No. Can I have you roll another Taroka deck? You don't have to pull one. I just want to see what the results are.
I think, just for a bit of flavor, the way Cillian pulls from the deck is like he does some card stuff, and the first card that slips from his hand, or is a mistake, or is the one pulled. One faded to be parted from the deck at that point.
In this case, not specifically pulling a card, but you go around to several of these families that you and the priestess Renfort had established for the care of these children that you found in the caverns where Lashira had been keeping them with her little makeshift coven. You find one of them has passed, did not survive the experience. Several of the families, while decent people, you can tell that they're struggling with the changes that have gone on in Silburn recently. It's become harder to manage. The kids themselves don't seem overly aware of that, however. A lot of times, children are not well-versed economically, so they don't really know that there's a problem. They are happy to play with sticks and a hula hoop type wheels and that sort of thing. So they seem fine.
Kind of horrible, but I don't think Cillian would give them money. Not now he has it. He mourns, I guess, for the kid that was lost. Remembers telling them a story and them laughing at it for the first time in a while since Lashira. Oh.
Acrio finishing up, I assume, the work on his splint armor.
Yeah,
you won't even need to roll because it's impossible not to get at least 2, so...
Yes. So now I can't have my head decapitated from my body.
Wait.
Hopefully.
Unless they have upgraded shit too.
Yeah.
Depends on the damage type, because
Which I forgot.
Some of them can do major injuries on lower than another 20 roll. But anyway, can you kind of describe how his armor is different in this fine state?
The symbols of Avacyn that have littered like a lot of the draping leather has increased in size. Like he's just made bigger ones, and now instead of being all separate little tiny pieces, they're all starting to interlink with each other. Like the hooks are intertwined, nice. Creating much fuller suit of armor. And his armor's already well kept, so it can only get so shiny. Now when you look at him, you have to roll a con save or you're blinded.
I was going to say, last time you were in silver and it had actually gone rusty.
Rusted, yeah, because he didn't have his arm.
From lack of use, or lack of preparation and care. So
but
now it's a lot better.
It's also
having dealt with that
magic right now with
the angelic blessing on there.
Yeah.
Blessing of the Forge.
But yeah, as soon as that's done, armor back on, immediately go bother Lorelei.
Yeah, Acrio, you would find it difficult to suit back up just because you've taken crippled. So much time, to dedicated to the armor. You have not taken any time to resting the
eat shit
fairly deep wound on your arm. Like you can move it, your fingers still work, but you just find yourself constantly twisting it the wrong way and trying to move it when you shouldn't, and just like pain shoots up into your shoulder.
I was like, no one would ever do that. Acrio, I should like cool it on him overworking his arm. No, pulled my arm using a fucking planer, and for the next 2 days, I just fucking used it like shit to knock out 2 projects, even though I should have let it rest. So I'm like, nope, that's completely realistic. Acrio would do that to himself.
Yep.
Yeah. If he goes and bothers Lorelei, he's immediately catching a scolding if she notices that his armor's like done.
Make an armor check, Lorelei. What's a good armor noticing
perception?
Upgradedness? Sure, we'll go with that. And you could perceive that it's better.
Yeah.
She is looking.
I am. Yeah. So she's just looking for other reasons, and it's like, wait a minute.
I had the local blacksmith do it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, anyway, that's not important. Okay. And I pull her. Where is she? Where do I find her?
She's still in the room. She was just getting ready to like go out and like buy supplies.
Oh, okay.
Like, you probably catch her like just on the way out.
Yanked right back into her room. Door closed. Okay,
Whoa.
The cow
Okay.
starts laying papers out. Anyway, okay, spells. You know, each one does their own separate thing. What if, and hear me out, I'm not crazy, we cast a bunch of them within something that contains it, and then all of them do one thing at once and fix the cow without having to take them across the pass, which is very likely going to kill them. Because we can fix them here with just 2 clerics, that's great. Only problem is we don't have a 3rd fucking angel hovering above us anymore, so we're down that. But it's going to use a lot of spell slots.
Yeah, and I worry that because people seem eager to leave. What if we do it and then we have to go and then we're like running at half capacity as soon as we leave? So ideally, we got to do this quickly, and then maybe we can power nap.
So about that, we need a lot of holy water.
Okay. Pretty sure we can make that.
I think we can, but so we're gonna need a lot of holy water.
Religion check.
Okay.
Also, of the spells that you typically cast / have prepared, can you tell me the top 2 general schools of magic? Like the evocation, restoration. Like obviously, I know color types are separate, but like what types of things are most of your spells?
Oh, I've got such a mix. Oh, come on, really? Bless is an abjuration? Eat my fuck.
Surprisingly, Acrio's, not surprising, his is transmutation.
It's like a weird mix of like
transmutation.
evocation and necromancy for me. It depends on what I have prepared.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But like based on cantrips, it's like evocation and necromancy are the top 2. If I base them on cantrips.
Yeah, evocation, transmutation.
So and then a religion check from both of you, if you would.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm proficient in religion. Who'd have thought? Hey, I don't know about
so
you.
am I.
Feeling 22.
Hey, nice.
Our brains are so fucking big.
You do know that you can bless water the way the angels might. Lorelei, for some, you are from Gavany originally, though you spent most of your life kind of on the moors and in the woods and not in the civilized part of the world.
My civilized life in Gavany.
Yeah. For some reason, you just recall as a child hearing, obviously, Avacyn was one of the primary sources of blessed water for churches. Priests can do it. It's like there's a ritual involved that you're sure you could figure out a ceremony to bless water and consecrate it. However, you know that the biggest or the most plentiful source of holy water that is collected is at the Kirk Falls Cathedral, which is actually, I think it's north of Hanweir, where the river is this waterfall. Perhaps you visited once with your parents on some pilgrimage as a small child. You're just having these vaguest memories. You only associate more with feelings and this awe rather than really the details. But on the lower part of this waterfall, there are these plateaus where these massive, like, curtains or sheets with angelic symbols are set up so that in the moonlight, the spray from the waterfall that comes up drenches these sheets, which then drips down, is collected, and the moon water from this Kirk Falls River is collected there, and that is where the priestesses and the nuns that work it typically collect the most holy water that is then sent out to the other parishes.
She relays as much of this in the most, like, abstract, like, I remember it vaguely from when I was, like, 4. It's like, there's a waterfall, like, in Gavany with a lot of holy water. Like, a lot. It would involve going there, but it's way more than we could make.
Alright, I guess we gotta get this cow to hand. Where?
Yeah, it's, like, a little north of it. I'm not sure how far.
Yeah, but then we have...
on the same river, the Kirk River, but the cathedral is north, which is downstream.
Got it. Yeah, but didn't the doctor say there's, like, a giant plague just sweeping through that area?
Well, maybe that's something we could focus our magic on. It's trying to shift that. I mean, that's what I was thinking of trying to do anyway. That's why I got the leeches, because we heard about the disease, and I was just like, medicinal leeches, that'll probably help a little bit. They still need a job, by the way. They're just kind of hanging out.
Fixing one person
what does
that's
that mean?
Very far gone.
You mean they're hanging out?
Lifts her arm up. Leeches.
Arm back down. Pretend it does not exist.
Did not see, yeah.
Yes. Us two are not going to be able to fix an entire city. That's sick. With magic.
Do you know that?
There's a higher being that always informed me of something, and that is the saying, you can certainly try. I don't know who this is or how these words were passed down to me, but they're very wise. We can certainly try.
I think it's worth trying. I mean, arguably, we have a clearer point A to point B with clearing a plague than we do uncowing a cow.
But it's not the action, it's the quantity.
I mean, maybe the holy water will help when we get to the falls as well. Maybe we can use that to, I don't know.
If someone hasn't thought of that already, then humans are very stupid.
I mean, it's not like you probably just bathe someone in holy water, but Acrio, as you said, your magic focus, while it's a lot of times been, metallurgy, your training at the Elgid grounds was pointed in a direction with the assumption that you were the Forge Master. This is what the Forge Master needs to know. So while your spells change things, like you have that base knowledge of how you could manipulate elements, almost in an alchemical way, but not quite. So you're like, you don't have all the pieces, but you have like a puzzle piece that you're like, yeah, there's part of a cow turning into a person on this, and
yeah, it's like metal to ladder, cow to person.
And you know that based on what you found, it was a person, obviously. The flesh changed for some reason into this cow-like form. Not entirely, though, which is weird. You're just obviously spitballing ideas, but it's like changing it back you assume it has to be possible.
Look, I don't doubt that we can do something. It's just the how that we haven't figured out yet.
Figure out how along the way. We've winged so many things.
Exactly.
This isn't different at all in any way.
Anyway, I need to go get a jar. I'm starting to feel dizzy.
Okay, now you can leave. And I scrounge.
I mean, you can come too. Bye.
Yeah, anybody, if purchasing of supplies can definitely be done during this time, so, it'll be the prices listed, so.
Yeah.
Unless you really need something weirdly specific. I mean, they'll be able to sell you a jar,
glass jar weirdly specific, yeah.
I would say that initially the shopkeeper's like, yes, we have jars for canning. Here's a whole box for your Hunter's Moon needs. And you're like,
I need one that's a little bigger.
But yeah, they would have something like that.
Dope.
Like a big pickle jar.
Yeah, big pickle jar. I've got really, really awful pickles.
Oh, and then we got a deal on pickle juice too.
You had an opportunity to name one of the leeches Pickles, man.
If they have a baby, it's being called Pickles.
Okay.
Because then it would be made in the jar, like pickles are.
Gotta roll my IRL sanity check here.
You wanted Lorelei to be weird. Why are you surprised when my own weirdness bleeds through?
Ridiculous look.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there anything else Cillian was doing?
He was planning on playing a raging round of revelers and ravers with the kids, but when he comes to the first or second door, probably he learns one of them died, and instead goes to visit his graph, just to make sure there's no echo of him around.
Mm-hmm. It's a quiet little space, little corner of the graph. You can still see where the earth was disturbed by these graph worms, but weeds and grass have grown back up in there. It doesn't look like there's a ongoing problem. You guys did take care of that. Simple stone, obviously not something fancy, but you don't feel any active presence.
Hey, buddy. I'm sorry that you didn't get to laugh more. Every kid deserves to laugh. You tried. And I know it's not our fault. Still, I hope you're resting with the people you love or loved. Don't show up. You've earned your rest. Don't start nagging me. There's enough geists for me. Sleep well, okay? And I leave the graph, not having anything else to do.
You can see just outside the fence, Casper, with his spear in hand, well-dressed Cathar uniform, making his way toward you, or at least toward the graph with his eyes on you, followed by a shorter, almost hunched-looking individual, not like hunched back, but just crippled over. And Salty, do you want to describe what else he sees?
Okay.
Excuse me?
So, just see that this little old lady, she has a twisted wooden cane, a sweet smile on her face, a scarf on her head, her hair is braided back, but she's hobbling along. You see she has a strong gait, even if she's not the fastest.
Morning, Casper. Looking rugged.
Thank you, I suppose. I went by Acrio's cart. I couldn't find him this morning. I'm not sure where he's at. But I spotted you, and well, he had mentioned you were intending to cross the Gyre sometime soon. With that
Yeah, that's true.
creation of his, don't think. Well, I believe you're going to have to take the old pass. And well, Sage here is a guide. She lives outside the walls. It's like he's trying not to be rude. It feels like as he's saying this with this old woman right here. She knows those paths and may be able to assist you. I hope I had asked her to do so.
That is utterly perfect. It's wonderful to meet you, ma'am. What was your name? I'm sorry. Didn't quite.
Oh, my name's Sage. Wonderful to meet you too, young man.
That it is. I'm sorry, you've caught me at a weird time.
Oh, of course. Don't
You're
worry
willing to do
about
this
it.
for us? Guide us over this route no one takes anymore.
Oh yeah, problem. I go through there all the time. You want a cookie? I baked them 2 weeks ago.
Ew.
Always. Oh, always.
And she'll hand him a cookie from her pocket. it's one of those very dry cookies. It's like the biscuits you might get from military rations, even.
So good.
Stinzia not known for its sugarcane production either, so it's like an oatmeal without sweetener cookie.
You don't need to flatter me, young man. I know they don't taste the greatest.
Yeah. I promised a friend I'd be more honest. These suck. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But we are very thankful. My name's Cillian, by the way, Cillian Vistani. We are getting out of town soon. A friend of mine needs to heal for a couple of days.
No problem. You just tell me when you need to go. I'll stay around. Is it my son?
Yeah, cool. You want to meet my friends? The ones you'll be traveling with? I'm sure they're around.
Oh, of course.
Right,
You go ahead. I'll follow right behind you.
Yeah, I seem to not need to slow down. You have a pace, ma'am.
Of course not. I've been living in these mountains my whole life. I still surprised the day of my first hunt.
Well, thank you, Casper. Helpful as always.
As you're passing him, he will set his hand on your shoulder and just leaning. Good luck.
Used to the type. Don't worry. All right, ma'am. Tell me something crazy. What is something you've seen in the mountains?
Oh, something crazy I've seen in the mountains. There's been so many. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mountains be crazy.
She is like Cillian in a way. She'll talk your ear off about all kinds of things she's seen in the mountains. She'll tell you she saw a weird horse with a single horn on its head one time. She's not gonna say what it is. She said she'll have seen a dragon, probably. You don't know if any of this is true, but she seems earnest enough.
For one of the first times in his life, Cillian struggles to get a word in. And I guess we'll go towards Acrio and Lorelei.
Sure.
That is my cue to disappear.
He disappears from the
just
blacksmith.
no, I can't deal with a stranger today. I'm out.
Yep. Sorry.
God.
Have to go
Shit
pick
in
up
the
the
forge
cow. Gotta make some stuff so they don't look like a fucking.
That's a great reason you
cow.
gotta go pick up the cow.
Yeah,
You should name that bike Heather.
No.
Cow.
God, I didn't even put those two together for a hot second. I hate that. Okay,
My cheeks
bye.
hurt. Oh no, Amrita's
Yeah, I
gonna
guess
need
you
to
find
find
Lorelei.
him.
Buying things and holding a jar.
Stepping out of the general store, which Sage, you obviously know your son is the bookkeeper there.
Oh fuck, what was his name? I need to pull up the document.
She's going senile already.
Wait, just
Go through the whole list of family names until you reach his. That's what my nan does.
wait, what?
What every family does.
Yeah, you never had a grandparent that does that? Like, they're just trying to, say your name and they say every other person's name first.
No,
Damn, what kind of weird family you got?
a normal one with a good memory, apparently.
Oh, damn. Fucking road. Excuse you?
Oh, okay, yes, I remember. Oh, Loic, I haven't seen you in a while. Why haven't you been visiting?
Ma, what are you doing here?
Oh, these nice young people, they need a guide through the mountains. I'm just here to help out.
That we do. I've heard your mother here is one. I'm sure she's come recommended.
Look, I gotta get back.
Oh, you come visit me in a week. I'll be back by then.
I'm not going up into them mountains.
Oh, you and your skinny little legs. You need to exercise more. You sitting behind that desk all day ain't good for you.
Doesn't even reply to that. Pups off.
This is way more fun than I thought it would be.
Well, thank you for letting us borrow her. To be clear, I disagree. You're looking very fine today, sir. And I'm sure we can take you off your hands for a week. Entire week.
Lorelei just leans into Cillian what is happening?
Oh, what? Ah! You're here. Hey. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Please don't tell me this isn't another like situation with the like leather worker's daughter, but instead you're going for that guy's mom.
You know, sort of all situations sort of turn into that for me. I don't have any control over it.
I mean, you know, go get it, I guess, but like,
you know, they're like almost all people are my type.
Almost.
Yeah.
Where's the line?
This is like this maybe.
Right. Okay.
Well, aren't you gonna introduce me?
Well, hi, Lorelei. This is Sage. She's gonna guide us across the sort of unused paths we need to go through. Aren't you excited?
And Sage will hold her hand out, like, you look like a sweet young lady.
Oh, thank you. So are you like from Sylvan or?
Oh, I've been out in the mountains since I was born. Never really knew any other place, but my son lives here. Yeah, that's about the only connection I have, really.
Interesting. Has Cillian taken you to see everybody else, or am I the first of our group that you're running into?
You'll be the first one, young lady. Lorelei, was it?
Yep, Lorelei.
She'll put her hand down again.
Just tucks her cloak around the jar of leeches in her arm. It's like, I guess if you need anything, don't be afraid to ask. If you're helping us, it's the least we can do.
Oh, no problem at all. It's always nice having a little bit of company.
I'd actually agree with you on that.
Anyway, there's someone who's going to be really happy about that.
I'll take it on me. Don't worry. So, ma'am, you're welcome to hang around. You're also welcome to wait for a few days. We sort of need to finish up our business here. Anything you need from us beforehand? Anything you'd recommend to take?
Oh, well, a good pair of walking shoes. Maybe some extra water. I don't know how you're traveling, by foot or by horse.
Ooh, yeah, that might actually be a good thing to show. We're traveling by...
Big cart.
Big. Yeah, big.
By big.
Alright, Casper did mention something like that. Alright,
Is there like a smokestack
Yeah.
above Silburn somewhere?
You just always just look up. You can always find it.
She's gonna look up. There's a lot of smoke around here today.
Yeah, that's
Big
us.
Yeah.
Big, like we said.
Just like, alright. It's a special kind of group, aren't you?
I mean, as long as special's good.
Yeah, definitely don't mean bad in this case.
You could never, man.
Get a room.
Who all would be in attendance, whether by choice or pushed out, for Amrita's alchemical experimentation?
Definitely.
Of course.
Definitely showing up.
And also, Amrita, who would she allow to be there?
I don't think she would mind if everyone is there at this point. She's not going to say no or yes. It's just one of those things where it's like it has to be done no matter what.
We'll find out from Acrio why he is not present in the future, but Dr. Mueller arranges this after normal operating hours. It's in fact quite close to midnight by the time he actually gets everything set up. It's dark. Unlike Acrio's, which was done in the little side room with his alchemical closet, his herbs and spices, his secret stash of chemicals and hard metals, this is going to be more in the open area, the main office floor. You notice Valerie is not there, and the doctor will rather curtly ask if Cillian is willing to assist. You weren't the worst last time.
Yeah. Is Val not around?
Having issues. And you can hear a creak in the floorboards of the ceiling above you. Not feeling well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. I am amazing at it, so I should be your assistant in the first place, but...
Don't think you're looking for a long-term position.
You know, I would, but... so many things lined up. Offers from everywhere, you know.
Ms. Fenwick, should this go awry, may need a channeling of mana.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Please, take a seat.
Amrita does so. Does the chair have straps on it?
It does not, typically, no. Although
Okay.
if you would like something like that installed or belts wrapped around the arms of it, it's up to you. Are you the type to squirm? You did well enough under the initial procedure.
I'll be honest, Doc, I haven't been feeling so hot lately, so might this once.
You see him just adjust his mask. Seems to be going around.
That's not what it is.
Best not to take chances.
Nerves. Fair enough.
Vistani, if you would, some of those vials, the graft-worn secretions, if you would.
Grab them deftly. And I just look Amrita in the eyes once. I don't even say anything, but it's just a you got this look on my face. And I start assisting.
Mm-hmm. You rolled real quick just because.
Yeah, I did pull a Taraka deck card for myself. And it's about the pursuit of knowledge, and it mentions the word sage, which I thought was pretty...
Wow.
It is, the diviner, the Two of Stars, pursuit of knowledge, but tempered by wisdom, which you hope will be the case with this doctor's experiment, this attempt to regrow bone, not even just replace or reconnect, but actually regrow. Amrita, you can smell some of the ingredients he has collected from this include like this paste of bone marrow that smells. Can I have you make a nature check, actually?
Yes.
As Cillian and the doctor are applying this mucus that will effectively paralyze your nervous system for a time, entering through the skin, you're still cognizant of your senses. You think that there, amongst all of the other components, some kind of pig bone marrow that has been harvested. Dr. Mueller goes through the procedure of collecting everything, combining these elements. You're unable to move, Amrita, but your eyes instinctively try to look over at what he's doing. These elements that are being combined will, take a little dropper, drip it into this concoction. There's like green light flares off of it, poof of smoke, and you're all hit with this wave of like caustic smell.
There is sweat that looks like it's starting to go down her face, and probably heavy breathing, and her eyes, like she's grinning her, like, or probably almost like there's a rumble in her throat, but she's trying to contain it, but just feels really freaked out.
Cillian can assist with the knives, as Dr. Mueller will have to remove the flesh. It's actually, that's an interesting point. Can I have you all make an insight check?
All of us?
Well, those who are present, yeah.
Okay. I'm so insightly.
Me too.
Did you roll, Amrita?
Oh, shit. Yeah, my eyes. Blah. Also, my computer's
I
being
am too
slow.
busy with Amrita's well-being.
Nope.
Being paralyzed, and like there's still a fair amount of pain involved, although it's somewhat numbed by this topical application he'll put on the flesh. He seems to have trouble somewhat with the first examination and getting through some of the flesh. Cillian and Amrita both, you're too focused on the immediate that you don't exactly notice when the doctor asks for his scalpels. The glint of light, candlelight in this room. Lorelei, you recognize a silver blade, but Mueller doesn't seem to actually react or he takes it in stride as he takes the silvered scalpel and begins removing the scar tissue.
So cool.
Because that is necessary. Gets down to, like, removes the extra flesh from the hole in the bone. Cillian constantly having to use these cotton swabs and stuff to dab the blood that's just starting to run down Amrita's forehead. The doctor uses this, like, dried leaf type material, this plant fiber, to create a barrier. It's incredibly disturbing seeing, like, the actual brain exposed to the air. Can I have Lorelei and Cillian both make probably going to be sanity saves?
Sure.
Yep.
I'm gonna elect to do it with disadvantage because it's Amrita.
Sure.
Wait. Oh no. Wait. That does a thing. Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Can I have you roll a d6, please?
Even?
Ooh.
Okay. No,
Nice.
that
Okay.
actually, okay, that okay, that helps.
First-
That's helpful.
Lorelei, you're there, but it's almost like you've dissociated from the moment. You're not even able really to see Amrita. You just see the blood trailing down her forehead. You just see her hands trying to clench the chair, hoping you don't see claws come out in this moment. Your eyes flick back to the silvered blade. The doctor will explain as he's putting this over, almost in a casual tone, with this weird, like, underlit candlelight on this beaked mask. And Cillian, up close, you can smell the, like, floral and herbal scents from within it as he's breathing in and out. As far as we understand, everything in the body, pain is processed in the brain. Nerve endings collect in the back. And yet, the brain itself, he just, like, takes this wooden tab and, like, presses it. Has no feeling whatsoever. As he takes the barrier and, like, tucks it under the edges of the exposed skull. Over the course of the next hour, as he applies this, like, fake bone and this marrow paste alchemically conducted, Lorelei, it's like time doesn't even pass, or you've lost part of it. You don't really remember everything that happened, and yet you can almost see the shadows coming off of you from the candle behind you. Your hand shadowed, just reaching up, twisting around the doctor's hand, just almost like assisting him in a way.
Yeah.
And he
That's
doesn't
what I
even
imagined it
recognize
was
it.
doing. Just like sort of cushioning the movement.
And with that, fortunately, he will not need an assist of mana from this, as he finishes up, and he would suggest toward the end, and you don't know, Lorelei, how long he's been saying your name. I can't regrow the flesh, I can only stitch it back together. If you can do something about that, it would expedite things.
Yeah. She'll sort of take a second to remember, you know, come back into the body and be like, where am I? And yeah, I will, because this will be like count as during a sort of long rest situation, so I'll have my spell slots back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I will pump a Cure Wounds into it.
As you're regaining feeling, Amrita, just having watched all of this It's similar to being at the dentist, except it's above your eye line, obviously. Just watching this work happen right up next to your face, you're regaining the ability to move. That paralysis is starting to wear off from the graphworm neurotoxin as you feel Lorelei's hand just touch. Would you touch her face?
It would probably be she'd probably go around and just like gently rest a hand on the top of the head, like not actually touching the wound, but close enough that, you know, it'll sort of emanate towards it.
Yeah. Cillian, you can see, as so often with Lorelei's healing magic, as well as Asuriel used to produce, the wounds themselves start to knit themselves together. That skin on the forehead just starts to slowly grow back.
You know, Lorelei, sometimes I don't give you enough credit. You're good at this.
I try. I mean, you're the doctor's assistant.
Of course. And there was no moment where I wanted to throw up.
You don't give yourself enough credit either. How does Amrita look? She's like breathing, right?
Her eyes
when he
are
like pressed into her head, you didn't just like destroy her frontal lobe and she's just gone now.
She's been lobotomized.
Yeah, she's closing like her eyes, but like her legs, like she starts to, that feeling comes back, but she almost like kicks like it in the chair, but cannot move or anything. It's like she's just muttering stuff and angelic.
The doctor will ask for a pot of water that he would have had Cillian boiling to be brought over, and even though he's been wearing gloves the entire time, he dips the gloved fingers in, does this, dries them off, removes the gloves so you can see his hands. Fingernails are like weirdly long and unkempt, but he'll go almost collapse down into the chair behind his main desk, still with these dark leathers and the mask on. I think that was a rousing success.
Yeah, you bumped up to number 2, Doc. Great job.
The issue will, of course, be whether or not it takes. I expect Valerie, once he's recovered, to make detailed reports, send them back. Anything the rest of you want to add?
Is there anything we should look out for? Any danger signs that things are going wrong?
Fever, discoloration of the area. Those will be the first signs.
All right, get these straps off me. I need to get up. I need to get moved.
The bone is part of the process in creating the red humor blood. If there's an infection in the marrow, it may require a bloodletting, balance things out.
Oh, hey, I know how to do that, I think.
Gross. Enthusiastic.
I have leeches, that's all.
Yeah, like I said, gross.
But it's a good measurement. I would start with
Doc.
1. I'm sorry, say again.
Appreciative, Doc.
I'm sure.
And Amrita will grab Cillian's shoulder and everything. Can you help me out, please?
Of course, blue-eyed girl. Help her up.
I just need to
I'm not gonna
go
ask
back
how you're feeling, because you're feeling shitty, obviously. But you'll be better. You look like good work.
And Amrita, I know you said you wanted to like stay in a room on your own. You don't want to share a room with me anymore. You should probably just stay in a room with somebody. It doesn't have to be me. I'll stay on a room on my own, because it's probably better. But
I would recommend
someone should probably
observation.
Yeah, someone should be keeping an eye on you.
Don't let her sleep face down. Keep the head elevated.
No different than sleeping up against a tree when traveling, so.
That would be ill-advised. Don't do that.
The door's always open. You know that.
Fine. Let's just go back to the tavern, please.
Okay. One step at a time, okay? No need to be brave right now. Overexert.
Did I roll for the doctor's estimate on how much this was going to cost? I believe I did that last session, and now I don't remember what the total was.
I
I
don't
paid
recall either.
all of it.
Oh, it's already
Cillian
paid.
It was
Okay,
like
cool.
90 gold.
That sounds about right. Yeah, 89 or something. Yeah, okay, cool.
Well, so thank you. We'll be leaving soon. And I don't think we're going to be back to Stancia for a while. Thank you for all you've done for us. It's more than you needed to.
Quite literally my job.
Well, it's a frightening profession to choose, and you do it well. We're heading up north. Anything we should look out for with the plague stuff?
I had spoken to your Cathar. He's in the process of creating a miasma mask and should block it out, but I wouldn't trust that entirely. Avoid contact with anyone sick, especially her. The pox, they call it a weeping pox, creates boils on the skin, an abundance of the phlegm humor will weep from the flesh itself, eating itself on the way inside. Nasty business.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for my skin.
Do you know if there's a way to treat it, or at the very least, slow its progression?
None that has crossed the Gaia reach.
Noted.
I'm sure we'll be the last to know.
If we find something, we'll be sure to send it along to you.
Can include it in Valerie's reports.
How is he? By the way, where is he?
That's private.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, Lorelei, it's private, of course.
Shut
I know
up.
that.
It's late. It's late. Please. Let's just go.
Yeah. Good night, Doc.
And yeah, as they are walking back, Amrita is like, all right, I can walk myself for a moment.
No, you're not. Absolutely not. Not a chance in the world. Not right now.
That would have been one of the blades would be silver. She whispers this, but just...
I mean, anything else wouldn't have worked. I'm glad he was prepared.
Yeah. But something you two could probably check on later. Saw Valerie earlier in the street. He didn't have a shirt on. It was weird. I saw him go to the doctor. Something about a dead cow and blood. I don't know what he saw. And then I left because I heard him vomiting.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
He doesn't look like blood. Maybe he saw something.
Yeah,
And that shook him up.
It shook some memories out of him. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
When we were down in that thing, he was really...
Yeah, we did fight the thing that killed his whole family. I wouldn't be surprised if something...
Yeah, I feel like vomiting and taking some private time is like step one.
Well, maybe
when I get fucked up with trauma, I also remove my shirt. So that's also like buff board.
You know how long it took me to just... Actually, I don't even think I want to talk about it right now. I need to, at some point, examine this blood from the creature. I'll wait till...
That can wait. Definitely wait.
We now focus on the blood that is coming out of your own head.
Can I have everyone, including Sage, make a perception check, but would be disadvantaged for Amrita, but with her senses it'll balance out, so just regular.
Perception. Perceiving.
Not horrible.
Ooh.
How dare you not roll a 15 and go in step with us?
Yeah, Cillian, as you are trying to assist in the best way you can, Amrita, who doesn't really want help walking, and Sage, who is out and about. What is she doing this late at night in a town?
Looking through windows.
You want some cookies?
She's just being the neighborhood meth head.
Oh god.
She'd probably be talking Casper's ear off. I guess she somewhat knows him.
Sure.
So she's just come to visit him because she wants someone to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's also visiting relatives, but, you know, he's the parish blade and has been for like half a decade, so whenever she comes into town, he's kind of the first point of contact. But yeah, it's getting really late, and he's like ready to turn in, but like cannot break away. You both see from different angles, and not even a very good look at it, but both of you could swear down one of the alleys there is this oversized, like very large, deep black furred wolf that's just watching Amrita, or watching the group of you at least, and then slinks back into the shadows.
Casper, am I finally losing my marbles, or did you see that too?
I'm sorry, what is this? It is very late. Don't know what kind of schedule you keep out there, but...
Oh, don't worry about it. Let me get back to you in the morning. Just gonna...
I would very much appreciate that.
She'll wave him goodbye with her stick and go investigate.
Sure. I'll have you make either an investigation or a survival check, your choice.
Let's go survival.
The roads of Silburn are... The main road is stoned, but you know that there are like a fair amount of like potholes, disrepair, that sort of thing. The side alleys, once you get off the main road, it's all dirt, and you definitely catch sight of some paw print confirming what you had seen.
Wolf, here. That's not safe for me. I should go back, Casper. Does she spot the group?
Yeah, I mean, it was rolled to GM, but you rolled a 17, so yeah, with 17 perception, so yeah, you can definitely recognize Cillian, especially. Very flamboyant type. It sticks out in any crowd. And there's not much of a crowd at this hour. The streets are pretty bare anyway, so.
She'll go over to him and it's like, "Oh, young man, fancy seeing you out here this late."
You're still up. So did I see this wolf too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you also saw, or what you think you saw was like a wolf in one of the alleys that just tucked back afterward.
You're still up? Wonderful. Love to talk to you some more.
I would say, Cillian, you also know occasionally you have seen geists take on animalistic forms. So that might be one of your initial thoughts was a wolf-like face, but it was you know, maybe a spirit. As quick
exactly
as
what I was thinking. He wouldn't immediately call out if he saw something weird, because he's seeing something weird like 24/7.
You haven't seen a wolf around here, have you?
I actually did just now. I assumed there were eyes in the alleyway. I thought it was my thing. Did you see one too?
Yeah, I was seeing a print in here. Should we call the guards? It ain't safe for a wolf to prowl around here.
How does Amrita react to that line of comment?
What is happening right now?
Oh, hello, tall lady. She's just like looking up.
Amrita stares and just has this look on her face, squinting.
Yeah, we didn't have this conversation yet. Amrita, Sage. Amrita, she's gonna lead us over the gyre. Yeah, I did see a wolf. That can't be good, right?
Certainly not within the walls. Also, nice to meet you, Amrita. My name's Sage.
He just... check it out, maybe. Sure, it'll go away.
Oh, you look like you need some leaves to chew on, girl.
Yes. Let's go to a room. Sage, would you be dull and mention something to Casper or whoever is patrolling right now?
Casper just went to sleep. I'll go find a guard.
Thank you.
Make a persuasion check. Make a crazy old lady check.
Crazy old lady check. And make a whole different stat for that. It's like sanity, crazy old lady.
Oh, that's a straight charisma check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's not horrible.
Yeah, at first the guard is like, pretends he doesn't see you coming as he's like, yeah, this is a problem. Sage is actually fairly spry and quickly catches up to him like, wolf, well, we haven't heard anything come through the walls, but I mean, I guess you know your stuff. We'll keep an eye out.
Paw print and everything. It's a little concerning that one managed to sneak in.
Yes, it would be. That's why I don't. Never mind. We'll keep an eye out.
All right, I trust you, lads. She'll hobble off back after the group.
Are we back at the tavern by this
more
point?
ears off.
Oh god.
Yeah, you can reach the saloon. Brass bell.
I think we need to get upstairs, but just describe what did you see what it looked like, Cillian?
I mean, it was dark. I thought I was seeing a geist. They sometimes black, probably, as I couldn't see anything. And that, I don't know, wolf.
I'll just mention it. We're upstairs. Might have seen something earlier or later in the day.
Yeah. Let's rest for now, okay?
Everyone's just seeing weird shit and we're all gonna pretend that it's not freaky.
We're not going to speak about it in public down here either, so upstairs.
What are we supposed to do about it now?
There's like
Plus, you see weird shit all the time.
Guy at a table. Sorry, go ahead. Like one drunk guy passed on the table. Like,
Look, we'll go upstairs and I'll just... It's probably nothing. She's saying this as they're like going up the steps, probably to whatever room that she decides to take, probably with Cillian, because I don't think she can be in the same room with Lorelei right now either. It's just like...
Yeah, on the way up, Lorelei's like, can I be privy to this conversation or do you want me to go?
What?
say Acrio's probably in that room, asleep at this point.
Okay.
Speak of, does my hands on.
To the next one.
You do suspect, however, you had heard footsteps in the upper part of the doctor's office, the room that Val had taken, probably not occupied.
Okay, I guess the two of us can go take Val's room, and I'll just say this briefly. She'll wait that they're in there and have, like, the door shut as well, making sure no one else has appeared.
Immediately go towards the window.
Is old Sage just like hanging out outside the door, or is she in the room for this?
Okay, I guess she makes it back just as they're going up the stairs, so she's gonna sit downstairs and have a drink. And poking that drunk guy with her stick.
Yeah, you know Willard, he's like always been a town lush.
Ah, you poor sod.
Lush.
You really ought to take care of yourself. But she's gonna still poke him with a stick.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably nothing, but I went to the grave earlier in the day of that woman. Light a candle for her, and I saw a regular black wolf in the distance. They're really intelligent creatures themselves, but it's probably nothing. Maybe a regular one that's hungry, or either way,
No, it felt like it was waiting.
Waiting.
I don't know, there was something about it. Didn't feel right.
Did it look tangible? Like it was actually there? Or it was just kind of...
I can't be sure.
Lorelei shoots a cursory, like, accusatory glance at her own shadow. I'm just like, fucking up to something.
Lorelei, I sent...
The old hermit lady did mention seeing a paw print.
Yeah. Was a print, so it's probably there, but...
Well, sometimes, I mean... Why do you think I'd never have a problem with dogs or wolves? They might sense my presence, maybe.
Yeah, they should respect you.
Have to go.
I'd be fucking afraid if I was a wolf in a town with Amrita Mablethorne.
But then how would it have got in?
I don't know.
How would they have got in, I think.
Creature, whatever. Who knows? Anyway, Lorelei, I sent that letter, and I'm gonna sit up for a little bit because my head aches, and you can rest and go to sleep if you need to.
Yeah, sure. Cillian, remember, fever, discoloration. I can leave my jar of leeches here with you if you want.
No, not even.
So it's because he suggested bloodletting if things go wrong, and it's
creepy crawlies are gonna be nowhere near me. You know this.
Oh, and they're in a jar.
They're leeches.
One day they might save your life, and then you'll be sorry that you insulted them like that.
Probably won't, but I'll think about it. How about that?
Gonna go, and Since my shadow can do mage hand, just for flavor, I want that to be what closes the door as Lorelei leaves.
Mhm.
It's like she forgets to close the door, and then just like as her shadow follows her up, just like
Concerning.
We are a bunch of fucking. Okay.
There's something going on there. I don't know if she's said anything. I don't know.
No, I did see like her full-on shadow, up here.
Okay. So, yeah, there's some kind of reason for that. I don't know.
Hey, I have an idea. Let's meditate. Let's not think about any of this. Let's not think about Lorelei or a wolf in town or a crazy old lady downstairs or each other. Let's think of nothing for a second. Try to sleep, okay?
Your face has more white, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's connected, actually.
Are we just gonna grab one of his hands and just like look it over? Like almost accidentally pulling a little bit too hard on the hand.
Ow.
Write a letter to Sir Lane, maybe to see where he is, but he said he would find us. Sorry.
I got some time left. My dad supposedly looked like this when, like, a year and a half before he died. I got some time, don't worry.
Said you saw him.
I'm gonna have Cillian make a persuasion check, maybe. Or deception, your choice, because you're like 2 years older than him already.
I think it is more deception than persuasion.
Yeah, I think, Amrita, you don't know enough about this Vaporway situation to really know for sure how much time it takes. So when he says he has, a little bit of time, all you can do is trust.
Yeah, I did see my dad. He's like me in many ways.
Are you going to tell Lorelei about both?
Yeah, I think so, though. Lorelai's sort of dealing with her own shit, and I don't know. Don't want to take on everything. It's weird to miss someone you don't even really know. No, that's what Liv is going through right now. Or will go through.
She can't summon whenever she wants, despite that feeling of missing. You know that you can contact in some ways, so there is that.
I'm gonna pull a Tristan and pull a D2 for a second. As Cillian's saying this. Damn you, Tristan. Your influence sometimes. Come here for a second. I have something I want to show you.
Okay.
She motions for him to sit next to her on the bed, and she's going to reach for her bag and take out the book she has with the lock, unlocks it with a key, and flips through pages in it. And she'll shove it in his hand, and there's writing in it as well, but it's all angelic except for probably what is his name.
Cillian doesn't know any other languages besides Common, right?
Nope.
So you don't recognize any of what this says, although you can obviously recognize your name because it's written out in not angelic glyphs or anything, but just like a transliteration.
Also wrote down Liv's name. You see right there.
Oh, wait, that exists. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You really got my good angle. Though, all my angles are good angles.
If you turn the next page too, you'll see another familiar face.
Turn the page. No, I don't immediately turn the page. I look at myself for a little longer, and then I turn the page.
This time...
Which one?
This time you'd probably see one that has a familiar necklace that's moon crescent and everything. Also written in a language, but you can see her name, Lorelei.
Oh my god.
That is.
I've been holding on to this forever. I can't anymore.
You did these, Amrita.
I did. They all have little notes. I'm working on Asuriel right now. Want to keep it fresh in my mind.
They're beautiful.
As you're looking these over, Cillian, start to hear a bell in the distance. It sounds not like it's coming from the church. Look out the window again, where you had been. It sounds like the bell is coming from the tower.
Oh. I force myself to pull my eyes from her work. I want to start this forever, but that can't be good.
Stage down in the main part of the Brass Bell Saloon, you also start to hear this. You're not sure exactly where it's coming from, being not intimately familiar with the town of Silburn, but you definitely hear this bell after having not long reported the wolf, potentially. Where is Lorelei at?
She would probably have gone to the room that Acrio would be sleeping in and just, but she's like sleeping on the floor, like dozing off.
Then you are interrupted by this rather obvious alarm.
Uh-oh.
Sage was probably leaning against the drunk guy and sleeping when the bell happened. He's like, oh dear. What naps his name is going on out there?
Being on the ground floor, Sage, you're the first to hear the sound of like heavy boot steps, serious amount of commotion outside. I think Cillian, near the window, also can see movement, primarily the Cathars and the local guards shuffling through the streets.
They're up and about. These are amazing. I want to check it out. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, maybe we just... Yeah. I can go, it'll be fine.
Lorelei is hurrying to their room and sort of quietly knocking about the same volume as the bell to see if they're awake by it as well.
Yeah, Amrita will open the door. Commotion outside.
Yeah. Should we go see what it is? You should probably stay here though.
Not if you guys said that there was a wolf.
All the more reason for you to stay here, actually, I think.
Shit.
Come with us. Don't get into anything, okay?
Stay behind.
Yeah.
You have a bow. A cool one, I might add.
Yeah. We'll need your eyes and your senses, but...
I'll just stick to the shadows as much as I can then.
Rush downstairs. Do we see an old lady?
Actually,
Yeah.
sleep like a fucking log. I can't wake him up.
Yeah, Amrita goes after them.
What is Sage up to?
Sage is at the door, trying to ask one of the guards what's going on.
By the time you even reach the door, most of them have passed, and you're not sure if you should shout. It's like you want to say something, like raise your voice, but at the same time, you just almost can't. And can I have you make a perception check? Yep. All you see are the guards, moving down the streets, spreading out from the main road.
She'll take a step outside, sticking to the walls, and follow them, keeping a bit of distance.
Then the rest of you see just as this old woman crept out of the Brass Bell Saloon.
Wow, she's insane.
Yeah, why?
Let's go after her.
Mm-hmm, keep her alive.
Yeah. Why do we keep getting into trouble with old people?
Especially in Silburn. I'll stick to the shadows and just follow behind and try to be on the lookout.
If at any point you feel bad, okay, come back to the saloon. Okay?
Yeah.
I know you won't, but...
Which of the trio would be the first to get to the doors of the saloon after this old woman has slipped out and you've decided, we better do something about that?
Yeah, Cillian is an instinct person. I think he rushes up.
Yeah, I think Lorelei's fussing over Amrita a bit much.
Sure. And then Cillian, as you, I assume, open the door at least a little bit. There are no glass panes on these doors. They're solid oak. There are windows, however, in the saloon, But you open it and you see a figure on horseback. Dark, like long coat, slouch style, cowboy hat. Just slowly riding through the main street.
Fuck, is it Cooper?
Cooper.
Doesn't quite look like Cooper.
Oh.
Fuck, is Ramus back? He didn't have a cowboy hat, did he?
Cillian wants to get information as quick as possible, so I think he just... Sir, do you know what's going on?
Figure turns to you with this golden shimmer in his eyes. Doesn't respond immediately, just stares back at you. Bears a pair of fangs in the torchlight.
That's concerning.
I think curiosity hits in before fear, like a second before, but as soon as that fear hits, it's like, you know what? Never mind, go on your merry way. Nothing to see here.
Which he does, continuing to ride directly down the center of the main street. What are the rest of you doing?
Following. Keeping
Following
at least eye shot.
the dude?
No, following the rest of the party. Just keeping eye shot with the rest of the party. We're not following him. No.
The hell's
anyone
happening
does.
out here?
Do we sort of see where he's heading?
Seems to be just directly down the main drag.
Okay. Can we take, the path behind the houses to sort of get to where he's going without actually following him?
Potentially, sure. I will have everyone else, or everyone at this point, roll a group perception check.
We got cowboy vampires, guys!
Oh my god.
I was not fucking expecting that.
The Markovs and cowboys! Markov, yeehaw.
Can I get some of their blood?
Can I get some of your livestock blood?
AB negative. Wait.
Sage and Amrita, as well as the other two, can see the Cathars that have posted up at various intervals, a lot of them in front of houses. You see people lighting candles and then immediately snuffing them back out in the windows, shutters being drawn. Cillian and Lorelei, you can catch movement on the rooftops, humanoid-like figures that just appear briefly and then are out of sight again.
They're everywhere. Careful.
And I would say everyone can see that the Cathars posted don't have swords drawn or any of war hammers. They all have wooden stakes that they're just holding center mass, in preparation for anything.
This doesn't look good. To look at the rest of the party. We should head back inside.
I need to see what's going on here. I need to know.
I'll go by yourself.
Would Sage know something of like this?
Make a history check with advantage.
Okay.
Oh shit, okay.
Shit!
Crazy lady, no.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Sage, you're familiar with the Harvest Moon and the Vampires Collection. It's early in the season for this sort of thing. You're not entirely sure why they've descended with such mass, but it's not surprising at all when you start to hear the people screaming in the distance, the shouts and the calls out of people's names, as you can see someone just almost in a trance leaving the front of their house while the family members are shouting for their name, but they can't get them to respond at all. The Cathars will tackle anyone they can, holding people down, but it's not long before there's a small parade following this rancher down the middle of the street.
His sigil folders stick out. Try to shield them a bit from this. Oh, it's one of them blood collections. It ain't pretty. It'll be safer inside. It better not interfere. There's a lot of them. They're early. I don't know why. It is a little unusual.
And I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, fuck!
Fuck.
Skidded rotten, da da da.
Oh, if it's
God
crap,
damn
I'll
it.
prepare my inspiration if it's gonna be crap. We'll see what happens. Okay, thank God.
I am
Thank God.
so. I got a boy at home. I don't need this vampire dick today. That's technically our up too.
Just as Sage is explaining all of this, she trails off saying it's safer to be inside, and then just her words start to slur slightly as she seems to be staring off at nothing. Lorelei, you're the first to turn your head, and you see, perched on the eave of one of these tile-roofed houses, very obviously vampiric figure with long black hair, just staring down at her. The torchlight from the main street is flickering in its eyes, and Sage starts to take a step toward him.
Lorelei immediately arms around Sage and just holds her, pretty much tries to lift her up. I don't know how heavy she is, but I can't imagine she's that heavy. But
by herself, probably not, although she's carrying at least her entire weight worth of a pack of supplies and that sort of thing.
Anchor her in place and stop her walking towards it. It's like, oh no, you don't. And she's gonna look up at the little perchy vampire. We need to go. Everyone, now, we need to go.
Jake, did you say there were kids in the march?
Roll percentile.
No, it is percentile for dead kids. We've come
Oh
full
gosh.
circle.
No.
Fortunately, there are not.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
we're just gonna grab
are-
Cillian by the arm.
There are, however, you notice it's mostly people in their prime. People who would be able to outmaneuver the Cathars if they were trying to be held back. People who could fight someone off and get to them, or stay in the shadows if they were compelled. You probably would recognize at least one of Cooper's workers.
In that case, I think Cillian can compose himself and falls back, listening to Lorelei. Is Sage in need of restraint, or is Lorelei enough?
How strong is old Sage?
She's got a -1 of strength.
So probably not. She's a hardy old woman, but she's not she's not like Acrio. So while she is struggling somewhat, it's not the most vicious. And the vampire that had been focusing on you seems to have disappeared either back up the rooftop or somewhere else down on the streets. You've lost track of it.
Maybe if we can catch a hold of anybody else on our way there. But we need to go.
I'm gonna watch.
Cillian, what if they get you too?
Nope. You're gonna
We're not
stay.
splitting up right now.
Need to know what's going on. Lane warned us of something like this, and there's clearly something going on. We need to know.
I
Gonna
think
stay together. You and I are the most. Damn it!
I
We
got
can't
it.
do anything about it.
Don't worry, I got it. I won't let myself get caught, I promise.
You're not going by yourself. No.
You know what, Amrita, you take the old lady. I'll stay with Cillian. You're in no position to fight anything off. I can.
After about a minute, Sage, you regain your composure. Your mind re-enters the world from this haze it was in.
Oh dear. That was strange.
They almost took you, old woman.
Oh, hi again. Yeah, they tried to get me, didn't they?
And they
For
would
sure.
have, had we not been there.
Oh, thank you, kids.
Look, Amrita, old lady, whose name escapes me right now, go back to the saloon and just barricade the door and try and stop people from leaving if they try.
Like, where are you off to?
Cillian is hell-bent on going, and I don't think anyone should be going off alone right now.
Oh, my dear, there's nothing to do. The vampires are easy things to fight.
I would say one of you two would need to make a persuasion check to get Amrita to go to the saloon, because I don't think she
You know
would
what?
listen.
I'm proficient in persuasion, so eat my fuck. Maybe not.
Can I wait? I'm gonna turn to Amrita and say, fate is pulling us in some way, and our enemies have had the upper hand. The entire time we've been fighting, I need to know more.
Yeah, she gets huffy at Lorelei. It's like, you just... And it's like gets pulled in another direction by Cillian, staring at him intently. Fine. Don't go off on your own. Stay with Lorelei. I will stay with the old woman. Come back. Please.
I grab her hand and I say, I will. And I let go. And I go sneaky sneaky.
And Lorelei turns is like, right, Cillian, where are we? God fucking damn it!
Is a siege, by the way.
Yeah.
As you said multiple times, you know what? Let's go see if there's anyone else trying to walk away, Miss Sage.
Alright, I hope that you don't get old Willie. He's already got enough trouble. Yeah, plus he's so much alcohol in there, they'll just get drunk off it.
Hey.
Amrita's like, why was I left with the old lady?
Why?
You can make a stealth check. Do you need me to roll it, or are you in roll 20?
I am in roll 20. As I'm stealthing, Jake, I want to use something on Lorelei I haven't used this entire campaign.
Interesting.
I spent a minute talking to her and I want to charm her to leave me alone and go with Amrita and Sage.
So yeah, you can go ahead and make a persuasion check, contested by Lorelei's insight. See how convincing he really is.
See how insightful I really am.
You son of a bitch.
Boom, shakalaka.
Oh, yeah. Yes! She got him!
Oh god!
Roll the dice.
Immediately punished.
I have a spiritual toddler harness on everyone.
Yeah.
Can't escape. That's what Bless looks like, it's just a toddler harness.
Oh man.
Interesting.
Oh.
So how would you describe what happens here as you become frightened in the midst of this, like, dissertation?
We break off of Amrita and Sage, take a few steps, and I turn to Lorelei, and I want to start saying, I need to do this alone. If you have any faith in me, let me do it. And as I do, I remember the card that I had kept separate because I pulled it, I think it was the broken one.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts burning a hole in my pocket, not literally, but I start feeling the chance of me being lost. And as I meet Lorelei's eyes, I stare into her shadow instead of her. And I take a step back. What's wrong? What's wrong? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's wrong? And I take a step away from the vampires.
This is the card, by the way.
Uh-oh.
It's almost like,
Oh.
Cillian, you see Lorelei's entire visage crack like she was in a mirror. The
Fuck.
exact view of the card that you've kept out of your deck, that same splintering.
What are you? It comes from you. I was right. What are you?
Cillian, what are you talking about?
When I look in the mirror, I see me. When you do, you see a monster.
Cillian, why are you doing this?
Stay away from me.
Why do you only do this when no one else is around? I've never done anything to you.
You haven't. But the thing behind your eyes. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I wanted to go alone. I'm sorry. Okay? Don't hurt me.
As Cillian is stumbling backward and Lorelei, you're moving toward him almost at an equal pace, you see behind him movement. Looks like not a child, but a younger woman is just crossing through the other street. And Cillian, you turn, see her. In the same instance, a vampire leaps from the rooftop on top of her and just bites into her neck. You hear her scream, but it immediately starts to gurgle out in blood.
There's nothing but fear in me. There's no heroics. I stumble backwards, trying to break my line of sight.
You're caught between this bloody horror show in front of you and whatever's going on with Lorelei behind you.
I start to fade, and paleness in my face begins to resemble that of the attacker in front of me, as the vapor wave starts claiming more than you've seen, as the white patch around my eyes and my chin and by my ear connects on my cheek, and I think I fully pass out or either disappear partly. That it's too much.
Yeah. In this moment of distraction, Lorelei would have tried to go for him and just grab his arm to sort of drag him back, get the hell out of Dodge.
What is her reaction to watching someone die in front of her, in addition to Cillian's just freak out?
It's a lot, and I think in that moment, almost darkness that Cillian said he saw in her sort of takes over for a little bit, and just completely chills her emotions, and she is just very cold in that moment, and she just seizes Cillian and starts to run back, but then the tears start.
It's weird. The weight of him almost seems to fluctuate. You initially grab him and it's a full human person you're dragging, but then it's half as much weight, but only momentarily, as you're not entirely sure if he's physical in this moment. And that's where we're going to drop the curtain on this week's session.
I'm sorry.
Damn it, Cillian! Damn it, Cillian! Oh.
That was the best possible outcome I could have expected from that.